Greetings and welcome to the modeling bench for another edition of the Chaika build, the I-153 Russian biplane thingamajiggy. I've jumped ahead quite a bit since the last video. I've been babysitting and having some kids over and a lot of noise around me, so I didn't bother with the camera. I just, whenever they gave me a chance to work on my kit, I did the painting. So here she is, all painted up, and the bottom of the wings right there. The top of the wings should look something like that, and the front of the engine cowling just looks like a random stripy mess right now, but it all makes sense when it hits the plane on the right spot. But yeah, what I wanted to say about this is nothing really. It's just painting, masking with a blue tack, and I'm about to hit this with some glue and put the upper wings on, but I need to do some detail painting first. I need to paint anti-glare dashboard, or whatever you want to call it, with some black. I need to repaint the inside of the wheel wells, because even though I had already airbrushed that with the interior gray, I just didn't mask it off because I didn't feel like it. I'd rather just paint it again, and I'm just gonna hand paint it this time. But before I put the upper wings on, I reckon it would be a smart move to attach the rigging first, at least to the upper wing, and then I'll have an easier time putting it on the side of the plane, because it does have some connection points there, I think. I'm not sure, I have to do some better research. I found a video on the YouTubes of a barn find Chaika, which showed the rigging quite well, so I'm going to check that out. I changed my mind. I'm not going to do the rigging with hairs. I'm going to stretch some sprue instead. It's a little thicker because looking at the reference pictures, the wires and the rigging are quite thick, quite sturdy. So yeah, I think a stretch sprue is much better for the scale, and also it's gonna be easier than the hairs to rig up, because as you can see, I don't really know how to rig a plane. I've only done it once before, and I've seen a lot of guys, they drill some holes or something, but the other plane, which was the von Richthofen's Dreidecker, the triplane for the Red Baron, I just stretched some sprue and I put some super glue on the ends and stuck it into place. And I was not building a replica Red Baron plane anyways. I was doing my own thing, so it didn't have to be that accurate, but it worked out just fine for me. But in this case, I want to be a little bit closer to accurate. So yeah, it's gonna be an adventure to find out how it goes. But I'm gonna put on, there's one rig stretch wire that goes from here to here on the bottom wings that I'm gonna put on now, and then I'm gonna glue on the top wings and put in the rigging. There are like 3 wires yeah, there are 3 wires, but 2 of them are really close together, so I might just do the 1, 2. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Let's give it a shot. Yep, a lot of junk on the table, but we have all the rigging done on the Chaika. It is very fine, if you can see it. but it's also very wonky because this type of rigging is really hard, at least to me. But I remember seeing a video on the YouTubes at one point where a guy was using stretch sprue for antenna wire, and in order to get it straight and tight or taut or whatever it is, he used an open flame to heat it up again. So never having tried that myself, I made a test piece here that is really not stretched at all. I don't know the English word for it. So I'm just gonna fire up a candle and see what happens. Try it out for myself. Boom! Magically appearing candle. So yeah, I'm not trying this on my model just yet, because I've never tried this before. And if it doesn't work, I can always cut off the sprue in my model. But if I heat this up, it should tighten up somewhat. Yeah, look at that. It actually tightened up pretty good until it fell apart. So yeah, I just have to be like really effing careful with my plane, not to ruin the paint job and not to ruin the rigging, because I do not want to do it again. First attempt of tightening, it just exploded the sprue. It tightened up like that and then just exploded. Everything except the original wire there. So I'm really happy. But in my defense, the sprue was really thin. So yeah, a little bit of cleanup required, and I need to re-rig this side. But this side, still okay. So guess I'll try and be a little bit more careful. I'm not gonna do this on camera because I need to concentrate. Look at that. Straight as an arrow. And I was holding it about, what, 20-25 centimeters above the open flame. And it just tightened up real nice. And I'm really glad I did the double wire in the front there like the real plane, because that came out just perfect. So now all I have to do is re-rig this side. Yay! I really didn't want to have to do that, but now I have learned a new technique. And so have you, perhaps, maybe. And so I have redone the rigging that broke up, that burst, whatever. And she's fully rigged up. It's not 100% straight or symmetrical, whatever you call it, but it's close enough for me on this build. And I really do hate rigging. It is so frustrating, but I learned a lot during this. Apparently you can control the thickness of the sprue when you pull it or stretch it by going either fast or slow. The faster you go, the thinner the wire you get. And I went kind of fast, so I got really thin wires. But I'm quite happy with those. But as you can see, they're tan colored. Because I really should have painted the sprue after stretching it before cutting it up and doing all this. But I didn't. So now comes the hard part. Trying to actually get a paint on those guys without breaking them. But should not be too much of a problem, I hope. If they do break, I'll have to do this all over again, and in that case I will paint them beforehand. But in the meantime, this is what it is. I also learned that you can't stretch every sprue. I tried the kit sprue and it just broke apart on me instantly. As soon as I try to pull it or anything, it does not like to stretch. But I had some old Tamiya sprue lying around, from when I did the Panzer II, and yeah, that was a brilliant stretch, as you can see, because that's what I used. But yeah, now I have to paint those suckers. This is kind of awkward. I got kind of carried away today. Yeah, so just woke up this morning, took the kids to kindergarten, fed the little baby got tired, and went to take a nap, and I sat down at the bench and just started building, and all of a sudden it's lunchtime. Fed the baby went to take another nap, and I started building, and all of a sudden it's time to go pick up the kids from the kindergarten. So yeah, I got pretty much all the details painted up. I got the prop painted up, assembled and painted, and dry fitted up there. I decided to add a little putty on the nose there. You can see the white stripe right here, because it looks like this is an intake or something, and there was this gap there that would not have looked good if this is in fact an intake or something. But yeah, so I decided to fill that up. I painted all the bombs because the instructions, it looked like it could have 2 of these big bombs and 2 of these small bombs under each wing, but it doesn't. So it was either 2 big bombs or 2 small bombs under each wing, so that didn't fit right, and I would have to putty up some holes and fix that if I were to use those bombs. So I put in the rocket racks and painted those. I put in all the landing gear and painted that stuff up. Painted the little guns and the intakes and all the exhausts around the engine cowling. Really sucks the lack of detail on the engine cowling there, or the exhausts. It would have been nicer if they would actually have put some pipes in there, but they didn't. It's just flat recess. But we'll make do with that. And what else? Yeah, nothing else. So yeah, I'm just right now I'm still doing some like touch-up painting on the green. That's all that is left, I think, just the green, and assembling these tiny little rockets, 8 pieces. So they got these control fins in the back that you need to add. Yes, that's a separate piece, those little 2 of those little fins. So add those. I need to paint it up and put it on the racks. Then I'm gonna clear coat the whole thing and do the decals. I'm afraid I did it again. I got up this morning, got the kids to kindergarten, got the baby fed. Baby is now napping, and I put on the bombs, or the rockets really, and on the decals. Oh, so shiny. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here, and the next one is gonna be probably a short one, but I will include the final pictures because this sucker is almost done. Just needs another gloss coat, some weathering, and the matte coat, and the windshield, of course. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this little build. It's a really cool looking airplane. It was really fun to do. As it has been really fun to do. I could have done a better job maybe, but I'm pretty happy with what it is. And I really like these colors too. But yeah, anyways, enough of me tooting my own horn. Thanks for watching, and keep on modeling and keep on having fun. Bye.